Hey Bear Fitness Envi Paradise members, I will be pre-recording our flex and stretch classes. I have, as you see, emptied my dining room, and while it was very fun for a while, and I absolutely adore having my space, I need to restore a little feng shui to my home, and so I will not be coming live as much as I do love seeing your faces. I am, on that note, super stoked that we are likely going to see your faces in person so soon. So today, welcome to Flex and Stretch. It's a short segment. I'm going to do my best not to go over about 30 minutes. The idea behind this class was to bring you the ability to be better in your day-to-day life. So what I want for you is to be able to carry your groceries more easily without pulling your body out of whack. I want you to be able to take the steps at the office 2-3 at a time with balance and poise. The idea is drawn from animal movements, which used to be done by something they called movement coaches back in the day. You don't really hear that term anymore. But what I love about it, like yoga, is that you're coupling your stretch routine and your workout strength routine together. So instead of doing your 45-hour workout and then stretching for 30 minutes in static stretching, you're putting it all into one. And statistically, it seems to be more beneficial for people. We make more gains by having active stretching happening during our workouts. So again, whole idea is to move better, to prevent injuries so that we can just move about our lives with poise and control versus doing the workout to look good. I want you to do the workout so you learn how to move. Okay. So there's no equipment for this. This is all going to be body weight. I'm not sure if we're going to do build-ons. Probably. And it's almost all animal movements today, coupled with like hollow body, which you can never go wrong with, as well as a squat in the beginning because we really need to get your muscles super warm, super fired up. We're going to do this in segments, and prior to each segment there will be 2 moves in each segment, and prior to it I will have the breakdown for you. So make sure that you have space. You're going to need a length of space more so than circular. Like for dance, you kind of need all around you in like a circumference. For this one, I just need you to have a long stretch. Okay, we're not doing a lot of forward, back, side to side. It's almost all side to side. Keep in mind, as we do the exercises, you may have to rotate in a different direction than we're originally going to suit your needs in your living room or the space beside your bed in your bedroom. So a mat can be nice for hollow body if you have a bony spine or any kind of injuries or soreness in your hips. But other than that, this is very doable without a mat. Grab yourself water, grab yourself a mat if need be, and meet me back here. I'd like to warm you up with dead bug, down dog, and happy baby. Bringing yourself down to your mat on your back. Bringing the pubic bone up towards the ceiling is going to bring the navel to the spine and the spine to the floor. So we have this natural curve in our low back. We want to take that away by engaging the abdomen, keeping that tilt on the pelvis. Bringing up the legs first. So the more you press that low back into the floor, the easier it's going to be to float the legs up. So my goal is to try and come to 90 degrees here at my knees. Let's just flex the feet, an active flex. So you're also flexing your toes, curling them in towards your shins. From here, we're going to pay attention to where the hips are. 90, 90. Keep pressing down. You should already feel it just through the explanation. And then the arms go out directly from the shoulder straight into the air. Palms are facing one another. Ooh, I feel it. In fact, I've already lost contact with the floor. Press. Anytime you lose it, think about right here at the navel, into the floor, into the floor. In fact, little pulses can really help you make that connection. And bring all of the body in, relax, rest. One more time. What I love about this exercise coming from the ball is that my low back is already press, press, press. So try to bring that pubic bone up now. It feels way easier. In fact, your tailbone may even leave the floor. Let's bring those knees out. Find our 90. Find our 90. Active feet. Arms up. Press, press if you need to. Pulse if you feel that low back arching up. Pulse down. Pulse. Getting toasty right away. And release. Let's use a pumpkin roll to get up. I'm not sure what the actual name of that is, but I've heard it called a pumpkin roll several places, and it really gives me the idea of the rounded swirl in a pumpkin roll. So I really like to use it. Pumpkin rolls are shoulders up, knees in. We kind of throw the legs forward and back and use our head in this motion to rock ourselves. The low back should look like the bottom of a rocking chair until we come all the way up. All the way up. Feels excellent. It's a little massage for your back, creates space between the spine. Finding our way by swinging our legs around to tabletop because we're going to come up into a down dog. Pressing through pointer and thumb the most. However, the whole hand needs to be making contact. Tucking the toes. Use the pads of your fingertips to grip a little bit. Do not grip so much, though, that you create space or a bubble underneath the hand. The whole palm should be flat. Slightly press the tailbone down, just a little bit, and that's going to help you engage your lower abdomen. Suck your navel to your spine. Protract your shoulders. It's almost like you're going into a cat stretch. And then float the knees. Use the strength of the arms to direct the weight backwards. So belly is coming towards the thighs, and then begin to straighten out the legs. The heels are always journeying to the floor. It's okay if they aren't there today. So adjust. Shift your weight back and forth on your hands, back and forth on your feet, wherever you need to be so that you can find that good alignment. You should be able to see your heels, so take a peek back there. If you see them on the inside, please rotate them slightly away from the body and vice versa. If you can see the heels on the outsides of your feet, rotate them slightly in. Press real hard through that pointer finger and that thumb. Shoulder blades are flat on the back, but separating, which is why I had you protract a little bit before coming up. Ribs are pressing in towards the spine with the navel. Take a deep breath and come up on your tippy toes. Hold your breath, round your back, push the floor away, and drop your knees. Exhale. Wonderful. Again, push the floor away. Separate your shoulder blades first for some protraction. Engage that lower abdomen, float the knees, direct the weight backwards, so belly towards the thighs, and then straighten out the legs. Ooh, exhale, and inhale up on tippy toes. Separate the shoulder blades, round the back, push your hips forward towards your chest, and drop your knees. We're going to do that one more time. If you need to, readjust. Remember that you can separate your hands a little further in down dog. They don't have to be right here. They can actually come out to the side a little bit. I personally line up my pointer at the edge of my mat versus all the way to the inside. Last time. Press through the L of your hand. Navel to spine. Separate your shoulder blades slightly. Hover the knees and direct the weight backwards. Take a nice long exhale. And then inhale up on tippy toes. Bend the knees round to the back. Separate the shoulder blades and exhale, drop your knees. Wonderful. Either cross the ankles and scoot those feet out or drop to your hips, swing your feet around. We're just going to do a little range of motion in happy baby. And just for funsies, let's tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin, and do a pumpkin roll backwards. So like dead bug, I'm going to engage this abdomen to press the low back down. The knees come up, but they're going to come all the way up. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. You can hold anywhere on your legs, all the way to the outsides of the feet, wherever you can reach. The idea is to have the low back and the tailbone connected. Most common mistake in happy baby is people go like this, I can reach my feet, I swear I can reach them, but now look at me. My shoulders are up, my tailbone is up. I need that tailbone to go down. Do you see how far my feet have to drop away from my face in order for the tailbone to go down? So it's not like, yay, I'm a happy baby, I'm so flexy. Nah, it's not about getting your feet way up there. It's about keeping your tailbone down, keep your shoulders down, and think about being wide across your chest and allow those shoulders to fall heavy down on the floor. And wherever your hands reach is where they reach. In fact, today, I'm not even at my feet. Active feet, active flex. So that means we're bringing the bone and the toes on the top of the feet in towards the shin. Think about getting longer through the calf with your heel. Think about heavy, that tailbone, that butt is heavy on the floor, that low back is heavy on the floor. And from there, you can walk your hands up to the feet. Super tight today. I'm looking forward to those squats to warm me up. And from this position, whether you're holding feet, ankles, knees, or your thighs, you're going to use your hands to help circle your feet away from you, in towards you, away from you, in towards you, wherever you may be holding. And it becomes a really interesting sensation. And reverse the circles. Whew. And release. Let's go ahead and pumpkin roll our way up, making ourselves round like the bottom of a boat or a rocking chair, playing with the weight transfer, kind of like on a swing set when you scoop your head forward and back. Same thing with your feet, you're kicking forward and back. And let's move on to the animal movements. Okay, welcome to the squat bear crawl. Watching my example first. Squatting, very general. I'm about hip width apart. My toes are ever so slightly turned out. Same for my knees. They can come out to the side ever so slightly. But this is a deep squat where I'm trying to tap my tush to my heels. Not everybody is going to be able to go this deep, but that is the ultimate goal with practice, with time. My hands will be palms facing one another, arms straight out from the shoulder. Allowing my knees to just slightly open, make sure we're not rolling to the outsides of the feet too much. I'm going to allow my tailbone to tuck under me and come all the way down. Squeezing the tush, press through the heels to rise up. And at the top, give yourself an extra little squeeze with the tush for a hip thrust forward. And from the side, this guy looks like this, hip width, toes ever so slightly turned, palms are facing one another. I allow my tailbone to tuck under and meet my heels. Notice that I stayed upright. What's most important about this exercise is knee safety, so we never compromise that. If my knees were out here in order for me to get my butt to my heels, then I went too deep for my personal limitations. But instead, they're back here. Check out that alignment versus over here. So if you find your knees are going over the toes here and you're unable to sit the weight back, well, then that's your limitation right there. That's where we stop. That's your journey for the day. But remember to push yourself, try to maintain form and see if you can come all the way down first before shorting yourself. Squeezing the tush to give you that lift up and pressing down through those heels. Ah, yes. A little thrust at the top really wake up those glutes. Hopefully some of you are doing Aubrey's booty builder program, so this part should be easier for you. If you would like to engage more and challenge yourself a little bit more, you either do version 1, which you just saw, or version 2, which is a jump squat. It is what it sounds like. Hold up. Yes. Jump squat. Same cueing on this lower body. My palms are still in, but I'm going to come down and pause. So right here. My hands are going to help me jump. They come back behind me and I up, but I catch myself and pause here. And up and up. So the idea is to pause instead of doing down and up and down and up. Instead, we want to pause here. Using the arms for momentum, a little bit of a baby cheat. Our legs are straight under you. And when we land, we come right back here. So, into our bear crawl. The mat doesn't really help, although it did help me with my cushioned landing in my jump squat there. This is going to look reminiscent of a down dog, but it's called bear crawl. Bending of the knees, it's a forward fold. My hands come to the floor and I walk them out so that I kind of look like down dog. I'm going to do straight arms because there's another variation. The goal is straight arms, straight knees eventually. You want to continually push those knees back. It's okay if that brings you way up on your tippy toes. I have freakish calves, so I'm able to do this down here. It does not have to look like mine. What we're doing in bear crawl is walking with the arm and opposite leg. For example, my right hand, well, wait, you're opposite of me. My left hand comes forward and it makes me come up on my toes, almost as if I'm about to drop forward into a plank. But don't, keep pushing the floor away through those straight, strong arms. Now, since my left moved forward, that means I'm going to flex my right foot. I'm going to lift through the hip, swing the leg forward, and take a step. Hand, flex, lift the hip, bring it forward. So these are opposites. Let me scoot back a little bit so I'm on screen. Left hand, right foot and hip lift, swing it forward. Right hand, pick up, left foot, left hip, and swing it forward. Now we're going to reverse it. So the hand comes back. I'm going to do right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg, hand, leg, hand, leg, hand, leg, hand, leg. So if you want a challenge from there, instead of doing hand leg across the body, right? So if it's left hand moving, it is right leg, and vice versa, it's across the body. You will do at the same time, instead of move hand to move leg, instead of a shuffle. It is opposites at the same time. Remember, up on the toes is a-okay if your calves aren't there yet. Challenging, right? And we'll be going back and forth in it, and I'll be calling out forward, forward, back, back, things like that. We're going to put these two together for our first segment. Whew. I'm warm already. How about you? So we're going to do this at the end. I'm actually going to ditch my mat. I'm just going to ditch my mat. At the end of your mat, or at the end of the distance you have given yourself. We have squat or jump squat. You choose. Looks like down dog. Walk your body along if you need to. It's okay if you're all the way here, as long as you do not drop all the way down into that plank. We're constantly jackknifing your body up, right? It's okay if you're up on your toes. Opposites. Left, straight arms. Don't do this, don't do this, right? Straight arms. Left, right, right, left, right? So here I'm going to call it forward, forward, back, 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 back. Excellent. Walk yourself even. Scoot and drop your butt down. Check out your alignment. Give me a squat or a jump squat. Bring yourself forward. Ass in the air. Walk yourself long if you need to. Opposites. Either hand then foot or at the same time. Forward, 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 forward. Back, 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 back. Shuffle yourself even. See if you can drop your butt down directly into that squat. Jump squat or regular squat. Bring yourself to the floor. Find your form. Forward, 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 forward. Back, 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 back. Bring yourself even. Let me see, we have just enough time to complete one more. Drop yourself into your squat. Bring yourself down to the floor for our bear. Forward, 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 forward. Straight knees, straight arms. Back, back, and back. Awesome. On to segment 2. As you see, I brought back my mat for our second segment, which is push-up and Frogger. Push-up in this sequence is going to be like a clipped bird, right? So my elbows are going to rotate in towards the body. I'm going to keep them pinned to my sides for the whole thing. Try it with me as I talk it out. Look up as much as you need. We're tucking our toes under, and you're trying to get longer through your heels. So press them behind you. This will help engage your quads. Dropping the hips. Keep squeezing quads. Keep the feet active. Arms are underneath the shoulders. Press through that L. And take the knee pit forward for this one. When I come down and I lower my body, my elbows stay in, in. Don't rest unless you need the modification, but be careful when you rest on the floor. A lot of times people do this to get back up. And I'm taking loads and loads of benefit away from the exercise by doing it that way. So the idea is to hover, even if that means not going all the way to the floor. Maybe this is your max and you have to push back up. But if you come here and it's a point of no return, then we have to drop, regather our bearings, really engage that core, butt, quads, and the toes are digging into the ground so that we can flat body, bring it back up versus the scoop up. Yeah? So pin those elbows in. One more time with me. We're getting longer through our heels. Our quads are active and engaged. Navel to spine. Elbows press in. Hover. Don't quite touch. Lift away. Direct the weight back so that it looks kind of like tabletop. Moving on to Frogger. So we'll be walking our hands back towards our knees so that you can find yourself in the steep squat that we had talked about before. Again, heels do not have to be on the floor for you to get benefit from this exercise. I'm placing my hands in front of me. It's okay if you have to round your back to get there. Just walk them wide, far away from the body. Pressing through the L of my hands again. I'm going to press the crease of the elbow, the elbow pit forward again on this one. Directing the weight over the hands. Protract the shoulder blades and use the abdomen, see me pressing it in, And then the low back engages to curl the tailbone up towards the ceiling, and I hop my toes in towards my wrists and come back down. Forward. And you gotta give yourself a little turnaround for the practice run here. So I'm in a deep squat. I'm actually gonna do it this way for you. Pretty deep squat, right? It's okay if you're up here. This still works. It still works. And you're gonna place your hands on the floor, rounding your back if you need to, pressing through the L's of your hands, shifting the weight over the hands. My shoulder blades, do you see they protract? They separate. And I lift the butt as I hop forward. I'm trying to put as much weight on those arms as possible. It's like you're gonna do a fake out handstand press. Yes? Okay, into the segment. So we're doing it at the end of our mat. Toes tuck. Press through the heels nice and hard. Those hands come out in front of us. 2 push-ups. Pinned bird, pin those elbows in. 1, and on 2, direct the weight backwards. See if you can get your legs up into your squat. It's okay if you hop it there, just find your way. And then very slow and controlled Frogger. Hands forward. Shift the weight, protract the shoulder blades. Get your butt in the air as much as possible. Pause in between. Full set up. And you notice I'm hopping forward so much that my toes are actually tapping my wrist. That's A-okay too. Actually really good for handstand prep. Remember when we're doing this exercise, space, that we are doing it so that we may land softly. It is not a, right? Contract the whole body, use it, learn how to use your body to soften the load and drop softly to the ground. So from here, facing the other direction, let's come back to our knees. Toes are tucked. Engage your quads. Wrists on your shoulders. Pin those wings. For 1 and 2. Push all the way back. Bring yourself up. Frogger. I'm actually going to start here. Each of us are going to be doing this at a different pace because of the length of space, right? I have a lot of space cleared for this. And if you have to keep turning around every 2 Frogger hops, so be it. And pin your wings, push up. 1, and on 2, we direct back. However you need to get there. Frogger. Knees. Push back through the heels. Walk your hands forward. Pinned wings. Hover. Try your best not to touch. And lift. 1 more. Direct the weight backwards. All the way back. Find your way. Deep, deep squat. Frog. Bring yourself to your knees wherever you're at. We have enough time for 1 more round of this. Tuck the toes, knees together. Really active legs here. It's not just the upper body working. Pin your wings. Press. Pin your wings all the way back. The last one. Try to get your butt as high as possible this time. It's the last round. Remember, protract those shoulder blades. and I am out of space. All right. Hopefully I haven't kicked anything yet. Let's get ready for segment 3. Last segment. Hollow body for 2, and then we're gonna pumpkin roll ourselves up so that we can get onto our feet in that deep squat one last time for monkey. So yay, I prepared you a little bit in your warm-up with dead bug, which is the alternative to hollow body. Hollow body is a rockin' exercise. It is super active and hard, so do not feel like this is not effective. It's super effective. The idea, like discussed before, is to just keep that low back engaged to, or not engaged, excuse me, attached to the floor. And so our limbs need to do whatever they need to do to weight it without lifting the back. So think of your arms and your legs as weights. These are what are going to challenge us. So pubic bone to the ceiling, knees come in. We can flex or we can point 90-90. Straight out, palms together. I'm sorry, facing each other. So here's where we have to press down, and if this is it for the day, then this is it for the day. For those of you looking for the next step, see if you can take your legs out slightly for a medium hollow body. Head comes up, we lift the shoulders off the floor. Next step for a challenge, arms overhead. Last step, let's see if I can do it. 2 to 3 inches off the floor while the shoulders stay up. Oh my. Any variation, good. As long as that low back stays in place. Once it lifts, back up out of the version you're in a little baby bit. So we're gonna pumpkin roll our way up. We're gonna do 2 holds for like a 3 count, with a dead bug all the way through medium and advanced. And then we're gonna bring our legs in, pumpkin roll our way up, either cross the ankles and move through to our feet, or pumpkin roll up to the hips, swing those legs around, find your way into that squat, but do it with intent, right? It'll be slow in the beginning. I was never good at that kind of thing. And it's only through consistent practice that I was able to throw myself up and hop into this squat real quick, right? We have to walk before we run, right? So again, this is nice for hollow body, but you do not have to have it if it's kind of messing up your monkey. Watch monkey 1 pass first and then join me on the way back. So this again is moving forward and backwards. Bringing my hands, it kind of looks like the beginning of Frogger. I'm going to take my left hand in line with my right toes. So I'm reaching across my body. I push into the floor, I lift up, and I kick, well I don't kick, I lift my left leg, and then Frogger hop the first lifted leg to be the first leg down. So that's my lefty back here behind this right hand, and then I land. So my hands come across the body and then line with my toes. I lift, this leg is airborne, and I swing. Do you see that back and forth swing of my hips? As if I'm a pendulum down here. Who remembers New Kids on the Block, Jen? Right? What is that? The right stuff. I hope you all know what I'm talking about. So, it's the same kind of movement, and I did that all the time when I was a kid because I loved Joey and Jordan. So do it with me on the back pass here. So find your way into this deep squat. Again, up here with heels lifted, A-okay. Hands come across the body. So opposite hand in front of toes of opposite foot. Pushing down into the L's. Wait, let me back up a little bit. I'm on a screen. My L's are pushing into the floor. I'm going to protract those shoulder blades and treat it like Frogger. I'm going to lift up
and make my right foot airborne. I'm going to swing my right foot in front of left hand to land. Hands across the body. Push. Pretend like it's going to be a handstand or Frogger. This leg must be airborne so that I can shift away into the arms and hands and then use my torso to do that pendulum swing and bring my legs to the opposite side so that I land again, opposite hand in front of opposite foot. Let's go through the sequence. Okay. Dead bug, medium or full hollow body. Onto our mats. Let's do it a little further down on our mat so we have more space to be doing monkey. Round your back, tuck your chin, find your way onto that nice flat spine, navel to the floor. 90, 90, flexed or pointed, out at the shoulders, palms face one another. We can stay here, we flex, extend, shoulders come up off the floor, arms overhead for medium. 2, 1. Bring it in. One more. 90, 90, shoulders come up. Medium, 2, 1. Bring it in. Pumpkin roll. Find your way into your squat. Monkey. Opposite. Frogger pendulum with the legs. Complete pause. Don't keep muddling through to the next move. Pause, take a moment and say, I know how I'm going to move next. Opposite. Frog, pendulum legs. Let's reverse it. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Frogger with pendulum. Pause. Opposite. Lift. It's like a handstand. Swing that low body. And go back. Oh, wait, we went back. All right. Down to your butts. Pumpkin roll down. 90, 90. If you're doing medium, remember to get the shoulders up off of the floor. And bring it in. Don't forget to breathe. And again, 90, 90. I'm in medium, 2, 1. It's all about that low back. Pumpkin roll. Find your way into a deep squat. Opposite. Protract. Lift that opposite leg and swing it to the opposite wrist. Lift. Come back. And down to our butts. Dead bug. Medium. 2, 1. Bring it in. And repeat. Dead bug. Medium or advance. Bring it in. Pumpkin. If you have to rock a couple times to get up, that's okay too. Find your way to a squat. Also trying to be even. I have more space than you, so if you can only go twice, then backtrack twice and just keep going until I'm ready for that hollow body again. Well, mine are getting bigger. I only have room for 2. To our max. We have 1, maybe 2 more rounds. Dead bug. Medium. Advance. Bring it in. We're essentially there just for a 3 count. Repeat. And bring yourself up. Pumpkin roll. Maybe for 2. Whatever feels right, or whatever speed you need to build up. Monkey. So I'm actually going to do it this direction so you can see a little better in case there's any more confusion.
track. To our back. Oh, that is the last one. All right. So I was drilling you at these for 8 to 10 minutes, depending on which segment. Hopefully I got some things fired up today for you. I'm definitely feeling it in places I normally don't. And these are all really important balancing muscles. These movements are strange because they're not developed to chisel you, they're developed to make you a better human at living. Go ahead and leave any kind of feedback. I would love it. Any questions, comments, or concerns, and I will get back to you. I will see you next week.